What's up, YouTube? It's Relentless here, bringing you yet another Division 2 build video. But if you would be so kind, please show some love to that like button, and also smash that sub button if you happen to be new to the channel, and don't forget to reach up there, trigger the bell, and turn on post notifications, so that way you never miss a live stream or a video that is uploaded. Well, I put out two previous PvP gameplay videos, and this is the build in correlation with those videos. Now, you've seen me use it with the Pestilence and a Vector. You've seen me use it with an M4 and Pestilence. You've seen all different variations of weaponry, and and the reason why I showed so many different variations as far as weapon-wise, you've even seen it with the Eagle, is just because you can basically use any particular weapon. But the favorite to go with this would have to be an SMG, and of course the Pestilence. It is a DPS support build, and I'm going to show you two variations in which you can use, and it all depends upon your personal preference. But let's hop up here just to refresh your memory. You're going to be ticking them for over 40k just off one bullet, let alone critting them once you have everything procced. Even upwards to around over 300k, and still dish out tons of damage. So without further ado, let me hop right into it. Alright, I'm using the two-piece of Foundry Bulwark just simply for the 10% total armor to raise my armor without necessarily sacrificing too much reds. But if you want to be a little bit more tankier, then by all means substitute one of the reds that I have for for simply just a blue. Now, in order to get that bleed damage effect, that would consist of the chest piece talent. But since we're on the bulwark, we'll go ahead and start here. Almost a max armor roll as far as the core attribute, and then we have crit chance and crit damage. On the second piece, we have mediocre, missing 20k off the armor on it, and then of course crit hit damage. And then what I was talking about, yes, we're using trauma. Applies blind to an enemy hit in the head, cooldown is 30 seconds. Applies bleed to an enemy hit in the chest, cooldown is 30 seconds. Of course, we have weapon damage, critical hit chance, status effect, and critical hit chance as well. Now, if you don't want so much of a higher tick on the bleed, then you, by all means, you can substitute the status effect there and go for more crit damage. But the more status effects you stack on it, the higher that bleed tick is actually going to be. So just keep that in mind. Now, the second piece of Suck Me Off is the gloves, and I'm using the Firm Handshake simply because one of the attributes on it is the 15% status effects. Then it has 12.9 weapon damage. I'm hoping to find a pair that actually has a max weapon damage on it, and of course the max critical hit damage as well. I'm currently actually I just got finished farming the summit and went through 20 floors. It actually only had like 3 pieces of Suck Me Off fall. So yeah, the summit can actually really suck me off. But anyways, moving on. Next we have a Seska knee pads, which gives you 10% critical hit chance. I have max armor roll, and then of course critical hit chance and critical hit damage. And thus far, you're probably wondering, okay, Relentless, I haven't seen anything that really makes it a support build, because your thumbnail does say DPS/support. Well, there's one talent on here that makes it more of a support, and that is Galvanized. Applying Blind, Ensnare, Confuse, Shock to an enemy grants 40% of your armor as bonus armor to allies within 20 meters of that enemy for 10 seconds. And if you've been in the dark zone, or even the NPCs that rush you, but primarily the dark zone, everybody wants to run up on you with their Lady Death and whip out their shield, so you're going to be in proximity of that enemy, so all I have to do is dingle them in the noggin, yes, dingle them in the noggin, and that'll blind them, and that will proc Galvanized. And then instantly your teammates that are trying to be face tanked by a shield dependent and their Lady Death will get a 40% of your armor as bonus armor, just for dinging them in the noggin. And then afterward, after you ding them in the noggin, then you can just plow into their lower extremities and then apply bleed. It's really, really effective. And actually really comes in handy, and even those rushing NPCs that come up on you also works the same exact way. Now, I know there's probably other things out there that you may have seen. I just wanted to come up with something different that no one else is really using, but is still effective. And of course, you're running Sadist on one of your weapons, whatever weapon of choice, M4, Sitar, Banshee, an MPX, whatever the case may be, a Vector, and that deals 20% weapon damage to your bleeding enemies. Also, you can use Eyeless. If you're good at predominantly hitting headshots and you're blinding them, then you would want to have Eyeless. So you can essentially have one Eyeless and one Sadist and get 20% weapon damage just from dinging them in the noggin or smacking them in the lower extremities. And of course, you can also throw on a Firefly, but let's be honest, most of the time that you see the Firefly being thrown in the Dark Zone as of Title Update 12 is simply because they're using the Memento and, of course, the Firefly glitch. Yes, I'm still calling it a glitch because I'm going to go ahead and repeat this for those that say, no, it's working as intended. It clearly states that destroying a skill is supposed to drop a trophy. So wherever that skill is destroyed at, it'll drop a trophy, and you have to go pick up that trophy. Just as when you kill an NPC or a player, you actually have to go pick up that trophy. And it is not working that way. You simply have to throw a Firefly or destroy like a Pokey Hill if you're running the Sharpshooter at your feet, and it automatically gives it to you without having you have to go pick it up. Thus, glitch not working as intended. But anyways, moving on. Now, the second one, as far as if you just want pure DPS with more or less of this setup, then I would go with this variation right here. You're still using all the same pieces except for the backpack. You switch out the backpack for another Suck Me Off, and instead you're using Wicked, and Wicked, by applying either Blind or Bleed, then you're going to be getting extra weapon damage from there. And of course, we're still utilizing the firm handshakes, but like I said, if you want to forego the whole stats effect as far as the tick from that you're giving them from the bleed, from hit them from pretty much chest below, then you can substitute this for Contractor's Gloves for Petrop if you want to go with some more damage to armor, or you can go with Grupo Sombra, which will give you more critical hit damage. And it will not let me switch out. So let's go ahead and reset that, and let's take a look further. I'm in combat, really? This game is so bugged out sometimes. It's not even funny. Bear with me. And it still says I'm in combat. So let me just walk out here, walk back. Let's trick the old division thing. You know how it is. And it still says I'm in combat. But anyways, I don't want to take up too much of your time. You get the point. And I'm going to end it with a lot of those. I'm going to name and shame those that are using the exploit at the end of this build video. For those that are using the Memento Firefly glitch in the Dark Zone, and basically they're just sitting in the checkpoint, throwing it at the wall or inside of a landmark or alley, just throwing it at the wall, building up their stacks, and then flagging rogue, and doing what bots do best. But I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely try this out. The way the game and PvP is as of right now, Galvanize is still very much viable to work with, and also giving that 40% extra bonus armor to your teammates. And the more armor that you actually have on there, the bigger chunk your teammates are actually going to get. You can actually go one step further, and you can go tardigrade here, and then go with a firefly and still use galvanized, so that way you're still blinding them with the firefly. Your teammates are getting that proc. It just takes a lot longer to actually pull out the firefly, mark up your enemies, and hopefully it, since it's a division, hopefully it gets on your target. I just found this to be much more easier, and it actually worked out pretty well. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and sub button. Ding that notification bell, because subs don't really mean that much anymore these days. And we'll see you after some gameplay. Oh, they're using that memento glitch.
Come back up here. Watch out.
Yeah, I can see them ready.
Yeah, use that memento glitch.
Alright, cuz, I will, cuz.
Yeah.
Cuz.
Yeah, because you can't do nothing else. Cheesy. That's why your homie already died.
Me, girl. Don't threaten me.
My
boy's about to come up there and mop both y'all up.
I
got one of them.
Keep using your glitches with that crutch. That just shows how pathetic you are.
Here's more, bro.
Yeah, you guys really just mopped us, didn't you?
Shows how pathetic you are. Who keeps throwing a fire? Oh, he just keeps throwing a firefly.
He's down.
Yeah, keep using that glitch.
I couldn't ban anybody for running a fucking momentum.
No, it just shows how trash you are, though.
For one, I'm not even running it, my guys, so shut the fuck up.
Your buddy is.
Chill, it don't matter, bro.
It is. It means you're garbage. You're garbage. You're garbage. You're garbage. Gotta use a glitch to PvP. Oh, you're gonna get named. You're gonna get named and shamed. So you're gonna get laughed at with everybody that runs into you. You're gonna get laughed at. Hey, nobody's crying. It's just pointing out the fact that you have to use a glitch in order to PvP. It's just funny. That's sad. That's sad.
I got your loot.